Hello folks, hello. Uncertain. Till the mole cut Rhonda's restraints and helped her up. She was uncertain. Till the mole cut Rhonda's rope and helped her. Uncertain if he was right up till the mole cut Rhonda's restraints and helped her up. She was worried that he was going to kill her. She was helpless before him. He could have stabbed her. And stabbed her mercilessly as she laid on the ground. On the floor. Instead, the mole handed over the knife to Rhonda. If you looked upon it, a bit of unease. Is this all you can afford to give me? Okay. Rhonda asked the mole. The mole smiled lightly. I thought you liked the challenge. Rhonda Moon. The mole said, imagine your legacy. If the world knew you escaped a fortress, armed only with a knife. I know of men who have escaped with less, Rhonda said, and many of them are now nothing but legends. I see what you're saying. The mole nodded. You can't become a legend yet. Yet, you still have much work to do. Indeed, Rhonda said. The mole stepped through the door and Rhonda followed him without hesitation. There was some firing squad of soldiers waiting behind to shoot her. There wasn't anything she could do. She was no good at throwing knives. Even if she they'd probably still. She was no good at throwing knives. I only had one of them. Anyway, the mole picked up some sack some soldier's bag, packed off the floor, and zipped it open. He pulled out a suppressed pistol, some Darelli type with a 15-round mag, and wooden handle engraved with cobra heads, hissing cobra heads, and flame trim. About the jade word for victory. Do you recognize this pistol? The mole asked Rhonda. Fortunately, there was nobody in the hall. It was just Rhonda and the mole, and darkness beyond that corridor at both ends. Yep. I need to bring back low draw distances in video games. I kind of miss video games where it's like you're going along and then suddenly something pops up, you know, or it's like just dark, you know, like those old PlayStation games where you just see darkness and then you move up. I always thought that was atmospheric, especially in a World War II game, because it really would be that dark. You were fighting German soldiers in the French countryside deep at night. That's why it was so terrifying for our soldiers, you know? It's a shame I never met my great-grandpa who fought in that war. But, you know, they didn't want to tell their stories for some reason, a lot of them. And they finally warmed up, I guess. A lot of them finally did warm up to the idea, I guess, but in very old age, you know? Like, around 2000, like when that Band of Brothers show came on, you know? And it was a book before that, so it goes to show you, if you want good stories and stuff, go to the books first. And go to history, too, you know? No, Alder replied, after giving it a good look. I found this on one of your dead comrades. The mole said, no, Ed. After the first battle in the hangar. I thought maybe you would recognize it. A lot of our men carried special equipment. Wanda replied. Carried their own equipment. Wanda replied sadly. Whoever it was, I'm sure they'd appreciate me using their gun to get a little revenge for them. Wanda took the pistol in the hand, feeling an almost electric charge to it through her fingers. It was like the essence of the gun's welder passed to her. I was too smart to think that was a literal thing. Just a psychological effect. Just a psychological thing. It was just a psychological thing. Yep, my head feels like it's in a good place today. At least, when writing's concerned. Maybe later I'll be a little less cognitive. I think it's because of this breakfast I had. I had sardines for breakfast, you know. Delicious sardines. It was just a psychological thing. I will avenge this weapons master. Wanda's original master. Wanda vowed. The mole seemed very pleased by that. For some reason. Let out a little laugh. Chuckle. There are 3 extra mags. Mags in the bag. The mole said. Noted. Enough for you to pop everyone still remaining in this place. Who are the most dangerous here, in your estimation? Wanda asked. Lord Richington, by far. The mole replied. He still has the edge, even years after the last war. I didn't like people making it sound like World War IV was a decades-old conflict. It didn't happen at the turn of the century. It didn't end even 10 years ago. Oh, now. Its 10th anniversary would be 0049. 0059. Yeah. Yeah, I like that dating system. Maybe we should have a new dating system. When we get to when we get to year 2100, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Didn't even end 10 years ago. Didn't even end 10 years ago. Yet. It didn't even end 10 years ago. It's 10th anniversary. Yeah, you're right. You're right for one's word. The broken clock is right twice a day, as they say. Let's see. Let's see. What was I thinking? Oh, yeah. And there's a superhuman girl as well. A pyrokinetic that none of us knew about here. Knew was here. The mole added. Sounding almost apologetic. Old soldier usually doesn't mean literally, unless you're talking about some vet of a war that happened 50 years ago. Let's see, yeah, it sounds like almost apologetic. But she is inexperienced, and I'm sure our brave soldiers will be able to handle her. Right. My mother, Rhonda was never eager at the prospect of fighting superhumans. They usually outclass most ordinary humans, even dangerous ones, by a considerable margin. There were so many stories of military units being wiped out by superhumans who were children at the time. Were mere children at the time. Mere cheebs. Darn, cheeb is the word for child in this universe, but I'm not gonna put that in. Actually, children has a different name, but you know, I can't think of it right now. Old Ramadi or something. Let's see. I was never eager at the prospect of fighting superhumans. Usually outclassed ordinary humans. Other goodies in the bag. Playing SMG. I'm all said. And grenades. But be careful using those. And grenades. I don't think I have to tell you why using the lighter. Anything loud is a bad move. Right. Wanda nodded. So, then asked, "Shall you leave me now?" "Alas, dear, I am needed elsewhere." The mole replied, and took up Wanda's hand, and right free hand, and kissed it. The mole then gave her quite a look over. Gave Wanda quite a look over, like he was imagining her dolled up in some impressive gown, shiny gown. Wanda did look good in such attire. But at the moment, she couldn't ever see her. She couldn't see herself ever dressing like that again. Not before the Jade Empire was re-established, and the enemies of the Jade people were humbled. Good luck to you, the mole said, and headed down the right side corridor. Wanda didn't follow him, instead heading down the left side. Let's see, where are the guards? The mole did not forgot to tell Wanda where her 20 comrades were. Let's see, 20, is that the right? I'm not sure. 20 comrades were being held captive. She imagined she'd find them soon. She just had to follow the trail of guards. It wasn't long before Wanda found one on patrol in the hall. He was a dark-haired fellow, carrying a Bloodton-made SMG, much like the same as the model in Wanda's backpack. She thought it might have been green at first, but then realized he was probably. But then she saw a bit of his face, and it clearly wasn't him. The man was not nearly as handsome, though she supposed he wasn't ugly either. On the way, yeah, that stupid flickering thing in the background was changing the picture. I didn't want any of that, but you know, the computer has a mind of its own. I don't need a new background every 10 minutes. Thank you. Let's see. Now I got a pain in my foot. It's hard to write or concentrate when you're in pain, folks. That probably goes without saying. That's why a lot of people will skip work when they're sick or in pain instead of going in, because, you know, it's just hard to get much done when you're in bad shape. Let's see. Waited till the man moved in, headed out when the man's back was to her. She came to within 3 steps of him before shooting. He was oblivious till he was hit. And even then, he was probably only conscious for a moment after the bullet after her first caught him in the back of the neck. It was like a shot. It was like the shot of an executioner's pistol. The man made some brief groan and then slumped forward to his knees. I didn't waste another round on him, and he fell dead. I found grenades on him and took nothing but them. Now I got to the next corner and almost found it dark and clear. He had a creeping suspicion feeling that a guy was going to come around the distant corner any second. It ended up happening. Some guard with with an M16 of his own. Was walking. He looked a little uneasy and called out the name. One's name. Wanda assumed it was the name of the dead man she left in her hallway. "Where are you?" the soldier asked uneasily. Londa, impersonating a man. A man was one thing Londa was never good at. And Wanda doubted her man voice would fool the soldier, so she didn't reply. She waited at the corner with her pistol raised for when the soldier reached that area. The soldier didn't get there, or he stopped short of the corner, as though short of Wanda's corner, as though sensing some dangerous thing. Sensing some hidden danger. Wanda waited till his footsteps were receding before, let's see, withdrawing. Yes, that's right. We're receding before. She stepped out and followed the man. He got him, took him down, like the first guard. One bullet to the back of the head. Shots to his chest and back wouldn't have worked, since he was wearing heavy body armor. And her little 9mm couldn't puncture. This fellow had no grenades on him. Wanda kept moving. Kept moving. She soon heard chatter, both in Jade and in English, with the English speakers telling the Jade to speak English or don't speak at all. She had reached her fellow captives. Wanda suddenly felt like going back and retrieving the weapons of the dead man, so that she, at least a pair of the men she was going to free would be armed. Let's see. Wanda found the prisoners were all sitting in some big emptied tile floored room. There was no furniture in there besides the light fixtures. And there were two guards positioned in proximity to the 20 prisoners, who were all sitting on the floor. Many of them cross-legged and relaxed, like they were having some campfire discussion. Other men were tensed and were positioned as close to, and were sitting. Other men were tense and posed like they were ready to spring. and sitting as close to standing as possible. It was clear they were looking for an opening to some big empty tiled floored room. Let's say, waiting for an opening to jump the soldiers. They were no fools. They wouldn't do it till there was some distraction. Wanda felt some warmth in her heart, seeing the Jade prisoners were, seeing her comrades were not broken. They were eager to get back to the fight. They just needed somebody to help them. There was one guard out in the hall closest to Wanda. She didn't attack him straight away, instead checking into the room. Prisoners. She was at the doorway, and back in the shadows. Went to the doorway and then back shadows in the time it took the guard to get to the end of the hall and turn around and come back. Wanda went after him during his second pass, moving past the dark doorway and sneaking up right behind him. Man. I guess we'll end it here, folks. Have a nice day.